2015 season concludes today as the Sox play game 162. And you can catch a glimpse of what the future has in store next on Comcast Sportsnet. There she is, the city beautiful, Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. As Robin Ventura's Chicago White Sox as they get set to butt heads with the rival Detroit Tigers. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the final game of this, what has turned out to be a very long season for our guys, and the Detroit Tigers as well. In fact, there are a lot of clubs that had a very disappointing 2015, but we also had some good upsides. We had Chris Sale, we had Jose Abreu, we have some guys coming up that look like they were going to be good players. So all in all, something to look forward to in spring training.
There certainly is, and this year was an interesting year because of the dichotomy of the two halves of this season. When you take a look at what happened in the first half, you'll realize why the team did what they did. Look at the batting average in the second half, 20 points higher. The on-base percentage considerably higher. Slugging percentage a bit higher. Home runs, there's more of them. Runs scored in general, more of those also. Many more walks. And as far as the games you see, obviously lopsided to the first half. But when you have a bad first half, it's tough to recover from it. The Sox never did. It certainly was disappointing, but we have seen some rays of hope. That gives you hope heading into next spring.
Well, when you look at Tyler Saladino, Carlos Sanchez, Trace Thompson, and everything else, and your hard-throwing right-hander is going to be out there today for us, Frankie Montas, yeah, there's a lot of good things.
And I'm interested to see Frankie because we've seen him once in a starting role. It didn't go particularly well for him. And Daniel Norris, who came over in a trade, goes for Detroit. He's had 7 starts. He's 1-1, the ERA up over 4. But he's got a chance to be a very good pitcher. They love his stuff. As far as Frankie Montas, it's yet to be determined if he's going to be in the bullpen or a starter, but getting an opportunity. His first start didn't go particularly well. But this year is one that after this game, everybody's going to put it behind him. Look ahead to next year. Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams have a job to do. Hopefully they'll get it done well, and next year we can go in with clear minds and a positive attitude.
It's a great concept, isn't it? All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball for the final time in 2015 coming your way.
Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. This is a swan song, and the temperature is in the upper 50s. So a cool gray day in Chicago, as you would expect in October. And Frankie Montas is going to finish it up for the White Sox 2015 version. Let's take a look at how Brad Ausmus is going to line up his Tigers for the last game of the year. Rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Frankie Montas. J.B. Shuck in left field today with Trace Thompson in center and Aviseo Garcia in right. Then it's Gordon Beckham at third, Tyler Saladino at short, Carlos Sanchez at second, and Mike Gold at first base. Rob Brantley gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Frankie Montas. Our throwing right-hander on for his second start, his 7th game overall. His first start, he went 3 innings, didn't go particularly well for him as he gave up 6 runs. But he's fanned 13 in 11 innings, so stuff is not the factor. Getting it in the zone is. The umpires for the game this afternoon, Chad Whitson is behind the plate. The crew chief, Bill Miller's at first, Doug Eddings at second, and Adrian Johnson is at third. So Robin looking over his ball club and knowing that this is the last time this particular group of 25 plus now with the expanded rosters will ever be assembled, as there's always changes as you move forward. There's a lot of guys that certainly are not happy from a team standpoint, but had pretty decent individual years. And Brad Ausmus on the other side, for a while it looked like he wasn't coming back, and then Al Avila, who is the new general manager, said that he's going to bring him back to see what he can do with a ball club that certainly is going to be in transition. So they've thrown the ball around the infield. That means we're ready to play baseball for the final time this year, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet for the final time of 2015. Anthony Gose swings at first ball fastball at 97. Gose comes in hitting at 252. 5 homers, 26 knocked in. And he is 1 for 6 in this series. Threw that one by him at 100. Gose just looks up at the scoreboard out there and sees triple digits. And dialed it up for that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. So good speed aboard. He has 23 stolen bases.
This goes to show you it doesn't really matter how hard you throw it. If you throw it in the zone, especially over the middle of the plate, you're probably going to get hit. And Gose was able to adjust after seeing the second fastball at 100, and the third fastball wound up in center field.
Yeah, if a guy's looking for it, a major league hitter's looking for it, he's going to get you triple digits or not, if it's in the zone or his zone. Here's Machado. Dixon hitting at 246, no homers. He's driven in 5. Dixon just 23 years old. And Miguel Cabrera is going to win his 4th batting title in the last 5 years. Our congratulations go out to him for a man who won a batting title on some bad wheels. That's hard to do.
And I would say, with the legs no better last night, he had a 2-run homer. He had 3 hits overall. The only time he was retired, a line drive rocket right at Sanchez at second. Actually, he made a good play on it. But Miguel went out the way he spent most of his career, hitting the ball awfully hard. And this was last night. At the time was a 1-0 game. And just like that, it became a 2-1 Tiger lead.
And he's going to win the title by a wide margin. As Machado is down, he gone, 1 out.
On our Menards pitch tracks, we'll show you a good hard breaking ball. This one just bites low and away, and Machado expands his zone. Gets away briefly, but with a runner at first, Machado can't go anywhere.
So here's the DH. J.D. Martinez hitting at 283, 38 homers, 101 driven in. So a big year for J.D. And from a baseball standpoint, it's been fun watching him do the things he's done coming from where he was. And that was released by the Houston Astros, picked up by the Tigers. And boy, they sent him to Toledo and he figured it out and has not stopped since then. But Cabrera hitting at 338. That's what he'll wind up at. Xander Bogaerts second at 320. Jose Altuve is third at 311. Michael Brantley fourth at 310. Then Lorenzo Cain, Fielder, Kipnis, Cruz, Hosmer, and Trout. That pitch downstairs. This might turn out to be the most interesting and exciting final day of a season in history.
Well, you got a 3-team race in the AL West as far as winning the division and getting into the wild card, and whether you're the first or second wild card. Kind of interesting.
And home field advantage.
I think surprisingly, and it is very surprising, New York Mets, losers of 5 games in a row, have squandered home field advantage if they run into the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That's up high at 97. Josh Donaldson's going to lead the league in runs scored with 122. He's going to lead the league in RBIs with 123. Bautista, his teammate, next at 114. Chris Davis has a 1 home run lead over Nelson Cruz and Mike Trout. Check that. Nelson Cruz, Mike Trout, a 3-run behind Chris Davis, and Josh Donaldson the same with 40.
Chris Davis is going to be a free agent. He should pick up a few bucks.
That ball in center field. Chase is there. Well, he had 5 home runs in a relatively short period of time taken away from him. We saw 2 of them here.
Yeah. 1 to left, 1 to right.
Couple of Cleveland guys topping the league with doubles. Brantley at 45, Kipnis with 43. Mookie Betts, he came on strong and had a good year for the Red Sox. He's the 42.
In a big game in Arlington, Texas, the Angels have taken a 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning. And that is a big game.
That game yesterday was a big game. They had a 10-6 lead going to the 9th.
Amazing. The Angels scored 5 and won it to keep everything right exactly where it stands today. And Houston could actually tie Texas for the AL West crown.
Collins checks it up and takes ball 3. So 2 out, 2 on.
It's also another game that has importance and could be a surprising conclusion to this season, and that's the Cubs playing Milwaukee and Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has to win that to keep home field advantage in the wild card race. If the Cubs win and Pittsburgh loses, as they lost yesterday to Cincinnati, and the Cubs figure to beat Milwaukee, who's not hitting anything, the Cubs would host the wild card game, Arrieta against Cole.
That's because the Cubs won the season series from the Pirates.
Yes, it did. Indeed, it is.
That's up high to Castellanos. Nick at 255, 15 homers, 72 driven in. Jose Altuve is going to lead the league in stolen bases with 38, according to what he does today. And that'll play right side. And Miguel Cabrera, one of those right-handed hitters who rather hit against right-handed pitching. He led the league in that category as well, hitting .344 against right-handers. Against left-handers, he only hit .313.
That's all, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, he really struggled.
That's fair ball right over the bag, it looked like. So the Tigers are going to take a quick 1-0 lead. You get the ball down to Castellanos, and there's a good chance he's going to hurt you.
73 driven in. As Castellanos takes this one the opposite way, and we have been pitching him consistently down, and that means that he consistently will drive in some runs.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
33rd double. And here's Moya, Stephen Moya.
He's another guy who, if you throw down, you've got problems. He hit the ball twice hard last night on pitches bottom of the zone.
Pitchers just don't understand, and I don't know, it's taken them a long time, and they still don't understand. Hitting a 100-mile-an-hour fastball is so much easier when it's thigh high or knee high than it is when it's belt high or letter high.
Just take a look at a guy's stroke, and if it's got any uppercut to it, he won't catch up to the high fastball at all.
Ted Williams was right.
Well, it has to do. There's a few people involved with the decision on where to pitch certain hitters. Now, if a catcher wants a high target and the guy throws it down, he just missed with it. Nothing you can do if a guy misses. That one almost got by. Nice stop by Brantley.
Two out and the 2-1 pitch. That pitch was down out of the zone, hit hard but foul.
Well, he's got some big power. That's one of the reasons why the Tigers have kept him around as long as they have. He's yet to produce it on a consistent basis, but he can hit it a mile.
So here comes Coop. Second walk of the inning. That will load him up. Checking out some categories in the National League. Bryce Harper and D. Gordon tied in batting average at .331 coming into today. Harper leads the league and is going to lead the league in runs scored with 118. Tied for the league in home runs with 42 with Arenado, Nolan Arenado of the Rockies. Arenado is going to lead the league in RBIs with 130. Marte, Jeffrey Marte at first base today. Two and 0 the count. Foul back. Interesting stat. Bryce Harper, who hit .335 against right-handers this year, and Bryce hit .320 against left-handers. I guess that'll tell you he can hit.
He can do that. A whole lot of that.
Two and 2 the count. He gone. So he pitches out of a bases loaded jam, but he does give up a run after a half inning of play. It's the Tigers won and our guys coming to bat.
It's Tyler Saladino leading it off, and J.B. Shuck, Trace Thompson, Avisail Garcia. Alexi Ramirez is the DH with Mike Olt, Rob Brantley, Gordon Beckham, and Carlos Sanchez rounding it out. The defense, an out lineup behind Daniel Norris. It's Collins, Gose, and Moy in the outfield with Castellanos, Machado, Wilson, and Marte in the infield. Ryan Holiday behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Daniel Norris. On for his 13th start.
Tyler takes first pitch strike. And before we show you our final picks to click, you at home, select yours. Norris, a good-looking southpaw.
Well, he was real good when we saw him in Detroit.
Unhittable almost. Here's the 2-1 pitch.
Remember the fact that he worked very quickly and nobody could square anything up.
Well, that ball hit hard. Getting ready to say that fastball does not look as crisp. In fact, it looks like it's about a foot short of what it was in Detroit.
Yeah, he was awfully good that day.
That's a hang Wolf'em for Tyler. And Shuck pops it up. 2 down, and let's check out our picks to click. Command Yard, Director Crewell, along with Carlos, Steve, going with Gordon Beckham, and all the Sox fans who have suffered through this season with us. They're my picks to click, going with Avi Garcia today. And I want to send out my condolences to everybody on the picks to click again this year. And both Comcast and WGN. It is an old saying, it's always next year.
You never know. You could get hot, could go through one of those periods where you're just, everything's falling into place. This was just a tough year. Too many slumps. The crew and I went into too many prolonged slumps.
Here's Trace at 294, 5 homers, 16 driven in. Close pitch went Norris' way. 2-2.
Norris had a terrific curveball in Detroit. And he was really the centerpiece of the deal that sent David Price to Toronto. They believe they've got a guy who's going to be around for a long time. Toronto is not particularly sure if David Price is going to be there after this year, as he's due for free agency.
That's foul. A lot of speculation on a lot of issues. As there are so many teams. We started out coming out of spring training, everybody acknowledged that the Central Division in the American League was probably the best division in all of baseball. As it turned out, it was probably the worst division in all of baseball.
A funny thing happened on the way to the coronation.
There were more people that picked the Sox and the Tigers to be at the top of this division. Certainly nobody thought they would finish last, and next to last is there is a beautiful timing catch by Castellanos, and that's a definite hang Wolf'em for Trace. After 1, it is 1-0 Detroit.
Sky through January 31st, bringing ballpark fun to the Hilton Chicago. You'll be able to get autographs from current players, coaches, as well as White Sox greats. Your favorite areas are back with interactive space to play games, win prizes, and shop for White Sox gear. It'll be a weekend of White Sox baseball you won't want to miss. Tickets are on sale now, so to purchase, visit whitesox.com/SoxFest.
So here's Holiday. Ryan. 262, couple homers, 13 knocked in. That is foul back.
Tigers have 3 pretty decent catchers. They really like McCann. They know Alex Avila, when healthy, is very good, and Holiday is a very competent catcher. So they most likely will have one to deal if they so choose to go that way. Alex Avila is going to be a free agent, and nobody knows exactly what's going to happen with him.
So the leadoff walk, third walk issued by Frankie. Tampa Bay leading Toronto 6-0. First inning. Mark Burley.
They're trying to get him through 2 innings to get him 200 innings. He's not faring very well.
Joey Butler with a grand slam. And that's foul back. Josh Wilson. Big hack. And we understand that the umpire, in this case Alfonso Marquez, behind the plate down in St. Pete, missed the previous pitch. It would have been strike 3 on Butler, and then he hits the grand slam. Not surprising. Here's the payoff pitch. He gone. Third strikeout for Frankie. 1 down. In that Toronto game, if they lose and Kansas City wins, Kansas City leads Minnesota 3-0. Then Toronto will go to Kansas City
That's a huge advantage
to play,
to host that one.
And vice versa.
Yep.
If Toronto comes back and wins and Kansas City loses, Kansas City will go to Toronto.
Well, Toronto at home 53-28, and Kansas City at home 51-30. Both teams okay. Toronto 500 team on the road. Kansas City a little better than that, 43-37. But both teams really dominate at home.
That ball hit into left field. JB is there. Well, I got to tell you, the system of the playoffs now with the 2 wild cards has just been a stroke of genius on baseball's MLB administration. Is it tough to be one and done? Yes, after you've won, say, 95 games, which is a possibility.
Yeah.
But it's made the final day of the season, as I mentioned earlier, probably the most exciting game 162 in the history of baseball.
Well, it's put so many teams back in action that would they would be out of it for quite some time to make it a real interesting September.
There's the force, and that'll be tired of the side. We go to the bottom of the second, trailing 1-0.
Game brought to you by Miller Lite. And we'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on Moultrie Telecommunications in Lovington, Illinois.
And Mark Burley has just been pulled from the game. He will finish up the season with 198 2/3 innings as Tampa Bay, protecting the integrity of the game, has scored 7 in the first.
It's a shame. It'd be nice to see him get to 200 to continue that long and very illustrious streak of 200-plus innings.
Well, that's, again, protecting the integrity. Everybody in the ballpark down at St. Pete knew what was going on, what the story was.
Yep.
It's just like in golf. If you're playing with a guy that you see commits an infraction, it is incumbent upon you to call it. Even if he's a friend of yours, which a lot of times mistakes are made unknowingly. But you've got to call it to protect the field.
Especially if he sinks a 40-footer to beat you.
You're actually calling it, as I said, to protect the field. You cannot let those things slide. That's why golf is such an honorable game. Two and one to Avi. Had him way out in front. Avi at 256, 13 homers, 59 driven in. And a full count. Daniel Nara so far is a little short on what stuff we saw in Detroit.
Must be a big fan of Barry Zito because he wears his pants equally as high and he's got a really good curveball.
Ball off is Castellanos.
Yeah, he backed up on it, and as soon as
he play him.
Yeah, as soon as he let that ball play him, he was in for some problems. He takes a couple of steps back and then couldn't get the hands down in time.
That's just his 12th era. He has had a good year defensively. He has good range, so that's just a mistake. A mental mistake. And here is Alexei. Alexei at 250, 10 homers, 62 driven in. Short center field goes. One out. And here's Mike Olt at 198, 4 homers, 5 RBIs. Understand Blue Jays also made 2 errors behind Burley in that inning. Here's the line on Mark Burley for all. There's still a ton of Burley fans. 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 8 runs, no earned runs. No earned runs. Play is going to be the first in time, so Olt is retired.
That's quite a 16-year career if this indeed is going to be the finale for him. 214 wins. 1,870 strikeouts for a guy that didn't have overwhelming stuff. Boy, he got a whole lot out of it. 5-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove winner, a perfect game and a no-hitter, and a World Series winner. That's a full, very exciting, and very, very good career.
And a 15-game winner this year, 15-7. Might be 15-8 after this one, but I don't think it's his last year.
Either do I. And I couldn't understand after winning 15 games, forget about today, after winning 15 games, if you still wanted to play, especially maybe closer to home, why wouldn't you do that?
I don't think it'll be his last year, and I don't think that he will be in Toronto next year. But we'll see. That's a tough way to go out. No earned runs when you're only an inning and a third short of 200.
Yes, it is.
Well, when he was here, Mark, when he was here, was not a guy who had a ton of luck. Marginally, it may have been even, Steven, but it certainly wasn't good luck for him. He left many games that I remember when he had a lead, and we did not have that good a bullpen, and they blew it for him. He left many games because of bad defense. All right, that'll retire the side. Win of the third. There's 1-0 Tigers. The preseason against Michael Carter Williams and the Milwaukee Bucks. That's Tuesday at 7 right here on Comcast Sports. Third inning. 1-2-1 for them. No runs, no hits, no errors for us. It'll be J.D. Martinez, Collins, and Castellanos.
Apparently it's a birthday party for the young lady. She looks very happy to be here.
So here's J.D. White Sox shout out and hello and congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Matt Wilkinson. Matt and Lexi Wilkinson on their marriage yesterday down in South Bend. And many, many, many thoughts and love go out to both of you. JD 1 for 8 in this series. The 0-2 pitch.
There's a good-looking outfit with some face painting.
He gone. 4 strikeouts now for Frankie.
This is a real good slider, and if you keep it there, there's nobody going to hit it.
Tyler Collins drew a walk in the first inning. Top of the third in Phoenix. Astros and D-backs tied at 1. Bottom of the third in Pittsburgh, 1-0 Pirates over Cincinnati. Top of the third in Minnesota, 3-0 Kansas City. After 2 down in Arlington, Angels leading the Rangers 2-1. Cubs leading Milwaukee 3-0 top of the third at Miller Park. So Tyler is gone.
Yeah, I think Collins got him on the backswing, and he just told Bradley, "Gee, don't want to leave you with one of those for the offseason." He missed him on the initial shot. Okay, well, then he missed him on. Then he hit him on the glove. Look, what are you doing? That was interesting.
Castellanos had an RBI double, picking up his 73rd. It was right over the first base bag. Pitch down. Two and 0. St. Louis down in Atlanta. They have a doubleheader today. The first game's over. Braves shut them out 6-0. Those two don't mean anything. Tampa Bay leading Toronto 9-0 now, top of the second inning.
Al Albuquerque loosening in the pen.
That's as low as you want to go right there on this guy. 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Can't get it up there. Meanwhile, he gone. Strikes out the side. That's 6 strikeouts for Frankie, and he trails at 1-0. back in action as our Blackhawks face off against the Islanders in New York. So coverage starts at 6:30 on CSN Chicago. Kansas City now leading Minnesota 5-0, top of the third inning. Beckham, Sanchez, then back to the top of the order with Saladino to face Daniel Norris. '19th and final meeting of the year between these two clubs. In the first 18, they have split them. Fastball was one of the best pitches he had against us. Go along with a real good curveball as well in Detroit. Today, the best pitch he's got going for him is a change.
You can understand why the Tigers are so high on this young man. They certainly are going to need him as they have to restructure certainly the bullpen and a part of their starting rotation. Al Avila has definitely got his work cut out for him.
One out. First strikeout for Norris. Well, the Tigers just could not overcome the injuries. You lose, in essence, Victor Martinez for that long. Cabrera never healthy throughout the year. Iglesias goes down, one of the best shortstops in the game. That's a bit much. And of course, David Price.
And you trade away Price and Cespedes, that pretty much puts a capper on the year.
Yeah. Well, sometimes there is a method to the madness as that ball hit down into the corner and a slicing foul.
But Brad Ausmus will be brought back. Try to see what he can do with his ball club.
Well, I know you probably talked to some people in Detroit, as did I. Frankly, I was surprised after what I heard in Detroit that they brought him back.
Maybe the news got out a bit sooner than they expected it would. And with a brand new general manager now taking the reins, he might want to observe for a year and see what happens.
Well, there will not be as many people next year, writers, pundits, baseball publications, coming out of spring training next season, picking them to finish first as there were this year.
No. I don't think so.
That's a hang woofum for Carlos. 2 down.
Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo using hashtag Chicago Data Strong Fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
Well, of the 5 teams in our division, there were a lot of people picking the White Sox to win it. There were a lot of people picking Detroit to win it. There were a lot of people picking Cleveland to win it. In fact, Cleveland won everything. And there were a lot of people picking Kansas City to repeat. The only team that was never mentioned about that status, so to speak, were the Minnesota Twins.
And that was a team that was in the wild card race for a long time.
Dino. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. He leads at 1-0.
White Sox content all year long, including news and video updates, ticket offers, breaking alerts, and more. Visit whitesox.com/blacklist to register today.
Fourth inning, Moya, Marte, and Holiday.
There's a young man. Mother explained to him where left field is.
Moya walked his first trip. Starts him off with a changeup. Why not?
He liked it so much he decided to double him up.
Why not? If a guy like Frankie ever learns sometimes that less is better, he got a chance.
If he develops enough confidence to throw that changeup at will, he's going to be awfully good. Because there's nothing wrong with his slider, and certainly his fastball can be overwhelming. You give him 3 pitches to worry about. Now you've got some trouble, assuming that he gets them over the plate. Because if he does that,
doesn't have to throw that slider for a strike.
No, if he uses it just as a wipeout pitch, he'll be pretty good.
All you youngsters out there in high school, college, aspiring major league pitchers, you don't need to throw hard, but you need to be able to spot your fastball and develop a real good change that you can throw anytime. You can forget about the breaking balls. That's way down on the list. Yeah, he did. Oh, come on, Adrian. Come on.
Throws him a good slider inside, and boy, he went all the way around. If he hit that, it's going to be into right field.
It's the line drive doubled. How can you miss that, Adrian? Yo.
And the line drive comes pretty close, but misses.
High. Saladino takes charge.
The bullpen up and going, and that usually means that, especially in a situation like this will be last inning for Frankie.
Pitch number 69. Marte.
Zach Putnam loosening in the pen.
2 down. Here's Brian Holiday. He walked leading off the second inning. Frankie giving up the 1 run if you're just tuning in. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. After 3 in Texas. Angels leading 2-1. Angels yesterday scoring 5 times in the top of the 9th inning to win that ball game 12-2, 11-2.
They were ahead 5-1. Then they were behind 10-6. They scored 5 to win it 11-10 to keep things alive.
They had 3 Kansas City specials in that top of the 9th inning. Broken bat singles. Just did get a piece.
Pretty amazing comeback, and now if they can take care of their own business, then they look with an eye to Arizona and hope the Diamondbacks, for the first time in the series, can come away with a win against the Astros.
Be gone. So a good effort for Frankie Montas going 4 innings of work, 7 strikeouts, but he trails at 1-0.
As well as delicious food and beverage options for you to enjoy prior and during White Sox games. For more information, call 312-674-1000.
Shuck, Thompson, and Garcia. Shuck popped up to Castellanos.
Well, JB with a 9th inning double last night to tie it up and set it up for Liuri to knock him home to win it.
For what JB was supposed to do for this club this year, he did his job.
I thought he did a really good job because it's, number one, a very difficult job to sit on that bench and just wait for the call late in the game against the other team's closer. It's not easy to do.
He's a little better outfielder than I thought he was in the short time we saw him with the Angels. He made some really good plays this year.
He can also play all 3 outfield positions without any drop-off.
One out. Just the second strikeout for Norris. And here's Trace. Trace 0 for 1. He hit a wicked, I mean, an evil line drive. Just killed it. Castellanos at third. in case you missed it. Poof.
It's kind of a shame because if he went 2 for 2, most likely he would have wound up at or over 300. But it's going to be a little tough.
Curveball, no. Count evens at 1.
Talked to Trace before the game. He said he's very good friends and works out in the wintertime with Nolan Arenado.
Hey, he said he's his hitting coach.
Not a bad guy to work out with and learn a little something from. Especially with this year.
Well, when you get a guy like that, they're not probably talking mechanics. Just talking about approach. You don't do what Arenado's done this year, thinking mechanics.
I think it's pretty amazing when you take a look at what he's accomplished, and then you think about all the really good players in the game, or talk to somebody about the good players in the game. He's not going to be in the conversation very often unless you really know baseball.
There's a shot. Get down. And Will gets by him. So now he's going to turn it on, and here he's going to go to third base. Safe. Base picks up his third triple.
Collins decided that he was going to make an attempt at that, but that sinking line drive left him very little chance to get it. It's a fastball going in, and Collins he thought he could make the play, and then realizing that he had no chance, tries to swipe at it, and has no chance at that.
Well, he made a good roll. You can see he just wasn't busting it either all the way. Now he's going to turn it on. Long, graceful strides of Trace Thompson. So you can cancel the post-game show if you're just tuning in. That is our first hit. They have to do a lot of work on this reviewing system.
I think what they want to do is review, did he pop off the bag, and did Castellanos still have a glove on him? And the answer is no, he didn't. Let's play baseball.
Adrian Johnson, he may have come off, but Adrian Johnson was right on top of it. He saw, certainly they did not tag him, if in fact he did come off. So now the infield in. Ball gets away, but Holiday does a good job to keep it in the vicinity. Avi hit a big top spin 2-hopper down the third that Castellanos booted.
We'll watch the play at third again. He beats the play and seems to keep his hand on the bag.
Yeah, he never left the bag.
Nope.
But Adrian was in perfect position. And the count goes to 3. And this is a blue play special here for a hitter in a 1-run ball game. Infield ends 3-0 the count. Man at third and less than 2 out. Wow. Turn him loose. Ball 4. First walk issued. play, and he gets it. How many times have we seen that in 2015?
U.S. Cellular Field. It's accessible from the 100, 300, and 500 levels. Young Sox fans can learn baseball fundamentals from Chicago White Sox Training Academy coaches. The space features hitting and pitching cages, base running areas, and more skill instruction. It's all from Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And Zach Putnam comes into the game. Montas went 4, gave up a run on 2 hits. 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Zach on for the 49th time. He's 3-3. ERA just under 4. And there you look at the numbers. 64 strikeouts and 47 2/3.
Well, Frankie started off rough in the first inning and finished up retiring the last 9 he saw. 5 of them by strikeouts. So a fine way, a good way to end the season for that young 22-year-old right-hander. Josh Wilson. Carlos Sanchez.
Yeah, stuff for Frankie Montas is never going to be an issue because that stuff is certainly probably Major League Plus. Just a question of harnessing it. If he does that, he can be a huge asset.
Ghost has singled. Leading off the ball game, came around to score. That was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. He hit a sharp single into center field.
Thinking about laying it down before pulling the bat back.
Big hack, no contact, and the count 2-2. Trace. Nope, can't get there. Yes. He can move it. Here's a throw off the mark. Perfect throw right there. May get it. That's his 8th triple.
Hits this ball hard to left center field, and Trace makes the big attempt but can't come up with it. And J.B. Shuck then has to leap over Trace, make sure he doesn't get a piece of him, and go retrieve the baseball. So out of the box goes, doesn't turn it on right away until he sees that it's missed. Then he takes off.
Infield in.
There's Dave Clark, the third base coach, in your picture. Omar Vizquel is the Tigers' first base coach.
To the count.
Just barely able to stay alive.
Bottom of the 4th in Phoenix. D-backs leading Houston 2-1.
And Pittsburgh is added to their lead. They lead Cincinnati 2-0 in Pittsburgh.
After 4, Milwaukee 3-1 Cubs. Top of the 4th in St. Pete, 9-1. Rays over the Blue Jays. Machado has struck out and moved into a 6-4 fielder's choice. Runners at the corners. Went out, and here is Martinez. Going out to center and struck out.
Somewhat surprising, Martinez is really not known as a speed burner, and yet he's only grounded into 11 double plays in close to 600 at bats, 596 of them.
Big hat. Cleveland leading Boston 3-1. Bottom of the 4th at Progressive Field. Indians come in at 80 and 80. Games today, with the exception of that doubleheader down in Atlanta, all games today started at 3 p.m. Eastern time, which was really a terrific element to throw into this situation because of the significance of the games and the playoff scenario.
You can't take a real good starter, hold him back, if you're trying to get to the postseason or improve your spot in the wild card game.
Lined into. Caught! Beautiful play by JB. Meanwhile, the run scores on the sacrifice fly, and it's 2-0.
Goes RBI number 102. 102 runs batted in. Good play by JB on a sinking line drive. And a good piece of base running by Ghost. There's no reason for him to go anywhere. JB cradles it in the glove and gets the ball back in where he should, to second base.
Saladino is Beckham, I should say, is telling him to go to second with the throw. Here's Collins, a walk and a strikeout. All games starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Level the playing field for giving the West Coast any edge whatsoever.
It's a huge edge. If you see that team losing big in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning and you don't start one of your number 1 or 2 guys.
If you were going to, and you saw that develop, then you can give him another day's rest.
Yeah.
You don't have to start him. But they got to do something about. They've really done a fantastic job on the playoff scenario. It's just brought so much interest in from day 1 to day 162, or game 1, I should say. Game 162 as that's in the left field. JB has a can of corn for him. But they pick up a run. We're halfway home, trailing 2-0. Daniel Norris doesn't have the stuff today that he had against us in Detroit, but he still has only given up 1 hit. That was that triple to Trace Thompson last inning. He's been changing speeds and throwing strikes. He's only walked 1. Michael grounded out to Castellanos. Nice backhand to plant the peg.
What a play that was.
That was a beauty. As we talked about earlier, his defense this year has really improved. He's only made 12 errors
He got rid of the ball very quickly as he crossed over into foul territory, and then on the one-hop throw, he gets it there, an eyelash ahead of Olt.
So here's Rob Brantley. Went out 3-1. And that's foul and a broken bat, another $100 bill. Just bit the dust.
Dan Jennings listening up.
That's fair ball.
And Rob didn't run, doing some umpiring. And Bill Miller called it fair. It was his call.
Here's Gordon.
It's fair ball.
Can't assume. Too late. Top of the fifth at PNC, 2-0 Pirates. Oh, what a pickup J.A. Happ was for them.
He's been a very good pitcher for them.
One of those. Well, okay. He's left-handed. Now all of a sudden it's not that. Wow.
No,
good job he's done. Sometimes that is exactly what it takes to change your uniform.
Well, if he wins this one today, he'll be worth his weight in gold because this will give him home field. Now, whether they take advantage of it or not remains to be seen, but if you have a choice, you certainly would rather play a one-and-done game at home than you would on the road. And it doesn't matter who you're facing.
Well, it's going to be Arrieta.
It's going to be Cole.
Against pretty good right-hander for them. As he gets him upstairs. Beautiful play by Castellanos, and we're into the sixth, trailing 2-0.
You score with Papa John's Pizza the day after the Sox score 5 or more runs. You get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com with the promo code SOX5. That's at all participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
2-3-1 for the Tigers. 0-1 and 0 for our Sox.
And Dan Jennings comes on for the 53rd time. He's 2-3. His ERA just over 4. Doing a little housekeeping.
Castellanos takes first pitch strike. Abby. 1 out. Castellanos now 1 for 3 with an RBI double.
Tiger pen is up and going, and it's Randy Wolf. We saw him in a starting role.
Backer. 2 down.
First baseman, number 55, Jeffrey Martin.
Finally thought that was a strike. Alt now called off by Carlos. He says thank you very much. Good quick 1-2-3 inning for Jennings.
And photo of the game. Thank you for tweeting your strongest fan photo to Chicago Data Strong Fan all season long. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Randy Wolf comes into the game. He takes over from Daniel Norris, who threw the ball very well. He went 5 innings, gave up just 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and at this point, nary a run. So Randy Wolf, a soft-tossing veteran left-hander, comes in with a 2-0 lead.
And here's Sanchez. Carlos 0 for 1, hit a line shot right to Boya in right field. Cunning and guile from Mr. Randy Wolf. He's something. Cannot throw hard enough to blacken your eye, and all he does is get you out. 1 out.
Looks like Daniel Webb loosening in the pen for our Sox.
Top of the 5th in Phoenix, tied at 2. Deep. There's a shot. That boy Tyler. So he'll pull in second with his 6th 2-bagger.
Hit the ball hard in the first inning, only to line out to center field. And this time he sliced it away from Gross. Runs it into a 2-base hit.
One of those soft-tossing left-handers that managers may be better suited to start every left-handed hitter they've got against. We were talking earlier about the review. They're going to have to keep discussing it, going over it, and tweaking it, because for 2 reasons. First reason being it lengthens the time of the game. With certain managers, you get one out there every time there's anywhere near close play, they're going to have a review or an umpire's discretion. And the second one is making the umpires look bad, because 49% of the reviews are overturned. Half the calls are overturned. One and 2. To JB, who has popped up to third, and he has struck out. 49%. Pick him up, Debbie. Now Wolf wants to check it out with Brian Holiday. Yeah, this is a guy you might want to start left-handers against, and also line drive type hitting right-handers. No strong right-handers. But he is fun to watch from a baseball standpoint. Outfield really swung around to the left. Cleveland leading Boston 3-1, top of the 6th. Ray Francona's got a chance to extend that 500 or better to 11 years now as manager. That's the longest streak going. Kansas City leading Minnesota 5-1. That's in the bottom of the 5th at Target Field. Cueto on the bump for the Royals. Top of the 6th in Pittsburgh, 2-0 Pirates over Cincinnati. J.A. Happ's giving up just 2 hits. Texas leading the Angels 3-2. 2-run homer by Beltre. Full count. After 6 in Milwaukee, still 3-1 Cubs. And that's taking him right to the bag for out number 2. So here's Trace. He is lined hard to Castellanos at third, and he has tripled. That was our first hit coming in the 4th inning. We only have 2 of them. That one, and Saladino's here in the bottom of the 6th. The only hitter on our ball club. When he takes a pitch, his hands very seldom go forward. Reno. There's ball 4. So here's Avi. Avi's reached on an error and he has walked. Chase, decent lead. Don't get picked off. Gap out there in left center. Castellanos has got him. And that'll retire the side. Have a chance, can't do anything with it, and we're into the 7th.
Start defining your pain-free inner athlete today. Athletico, the official physical therapy provider of the Chicago White Sox. Athletico, better for everybody. Daniel Webb comes into the game. Daniel out for the 27th time. It's been going very well for him ERA-wise, but probably the last 3 or 4 times out, he's had a tough time. ERA a little above 5.5. 39 hits in 29 innings and 20 walks. So he takes over with a 2-0 deficit here in the top of the 7th inning.
Holiday, Wilson, then back to the top of the order with Anthony Gose. 2 runs on just 3 hits, 1 error for them. No runs on just 2 hits. No errors for us. Holiday has walked and he has struck out. And now there's a little Kansas City special.
Second baseman number 40, Josh Wilson.
So a broken bat single. This bad boy will give it to the authenticator. And here's Wilson. A strikeout and a pop-up to Sanchez. That ball hit into left field. JB's got the bead, got the ball, and he'll get it back in.
That ball was hit pretty well when you consider that the wind is blowing toward right field. Got a good piece of this. Wilson does not have a home run this year. And JB stayed right with it.
Here's Gose. He's 2 for 3. And he has scored both Tiger runs. Single leading off the ball game. And with 1 out in the 5th, triple. In the mezzanine took that one off the gut down into the lower bowl. Two and 1 to count. That Angel game now in the bottom of the 7th inning. Texas still leading 3-2. Houston has tied up the D-backs at 2, bottom of the 5th. Salted Lamakia doubles to knock in a run as the D-backs leading 3-2. He gone. Gas upstairs at 95.
Gose has swung the bat well today, but no contact up there. So here's Dixon Machado, the shortstop. He has struck out, hit into a force play, and he has walked.
2-0. Come back and get him. J.D. Martinez on deck. There's one. Tigers hitting at 271 as a club. They have a 4.67 as you look at Scott Carroll. And that's ball 4. So here's Martinez.
Jeff Farrell throwing in the Tiger bullpen.
JD goes through that one at 95. Pittsburgh still leading 2-0. That's in the bottom of the 6th at PNC. That evens the count. So 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th, and a 2-0 Detroit lead. It's full. Tyler Collins, the on-deck hitter. And that'll load him up. Back-to-back walks.
The appeal to the crew chief, Bill Miller, and he says, nope, didn't go. And he did check it up. So now he's got to deal with the bases loaded. And Don Cooper wants to find out if Scott Carroll is loosened up in the bullpen.
Collins has walked, struck out, and gone out fairly deep to left field. That ball hit hard, and that's going to score them all. It's 5-0. There's the throw to third base. Safe. Bases clearing triple.
Now has 25 driven in as he gets a fastball down out of the zone, and he crushes it into the gap. So a couple of walks, a base hit, and then a triple. As Collins gets the bag, it's not graceful. He doesn't do much graceful, but it's very effective.
Well, there's just a thinking man's hit right there. Now walks 2 hitters in front of you. You know what's coming the first pitch.
Got a pretty good idea. If you don't, you should.
There was a good pitch. Didn't get it. Castellanos, RBI double. Strikeout. One and one to count. But damage is done. Bases clearing. Triple by Tyler Collins. 7th inning stretch. We trail it 5-0.
Los Angeles Dodgers and Chicago White Sox Fantasy Baseball Camp takes place January 18th through the 24th, 2016 at Camelback Ranch, Glendale, Arizona. To reserve your roster spot, email fantasycamp@camelbackranchbaseball.com or call 623-302-5078. And we've got a new pitcher. It's Jeff Farrell on for the 9th time. Hasn't fared very well. 12 hits and 10 1/3. And the ERA up close to 7. And he inherits a 5-0 lead as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. So it's been Norris, Wolf, and now Farrell. He was called up from AAA Toledo on the 4th of September. And he's had a few appearances out of the pen since then.
And here's Alexei. Takes down low. 5-5-1 for the Tigers. Oh, just 2-0 for our guys. High pop up. Marte, he'll take charge.
First baseman, Mike Olt.
One out. Here's Mike Olt. Twice he has gone out. Castellanos the third. Once making a very, very good play on him. Getting back to Mark Burley, and they were trying to get him 2 innings to extend his 200 inning plus streak. Today was his 493rd start. That's high pop up in his career. And that's 2 down. 493rd start, first time he never got out of the first inning.
That's pretty amazing. That's a long run, and but for a couple of misplays, he would have gotten out of the first inning.
Well, if you're just tuning in, did not hear, he gave up 8 runs, 8 unearned runs. So here's Brantley. Twice he has gone out to Marte at first. Big rip. As he did. Softly hit. Caught, and that'll return to the side. We're into the 8th, trailing by 5. Done such a great job bringing you the 2015 White Sox broadcast right here on Comcast Sportsnet. There you see just a small portion of Joe Bedell, Greg Bowman, Mike Leary, James Angio, Dave Ross, Todd Benjaminson, Jim Corno Jr., Mark Harper, Joe Groove, Tom Walgren, Keon Dolashahi, Chris Campbell, Tamka, Jeff Sermon. Also to Bob Graham, Brooks Boyer, Scott Reifert, Bob Bechtel from the White Sox, Ray Garcia. Really just on and on and on with these people. People just don't understand and realize how hard these television crews work. They get here sometimes before the sun comes up to get set up for a 1 o'clock game. Then after the game is over, they have to take on all the stuff again and get ready for the next day's work. It is a very, very toilsome way to make a living, and they do a great job at it. Some of these guys are just like family. Joe Groove, Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, and of course, we got a man who we've been working together a long time, like a little brother. Hall of Fame, future Hall of Fame director Jim Angio. Mike Leary and Dave Ross. As that's into left field. So Moya is retired. He's now 0 for 3. Joe Vinci, Frank Leone, Greg Silas. All these quality people. And also people from pitch tracks who do, I mean, they did a great job this year. Dave Abbott, Keith Glabb, Daniel Ochoa, Nick Pinto, Ben Stock. That is a job in itself right there. Steve, wasn't a whole bunch of fun for you and I having to. You know, Mr. Expectations got everybody.
And that's to be expected when you saw what happened in the wintertime and you realize that there was really upgrades just about everywhere around the field because you knew the holes coming out of last year. And you pretty much thought that a lot of those holes, not all of them, but a lot of those holes were going to be filled. And unfortunately for most of the guys, and nobody feels worse than the players themselves, it just didn't happen for a lot of folks this year.
Scott with a 1-2 count to Marte. Just, and I know better than that. I know better to get that amped up. And we did. We got amped up. We got amped up at Sox Fest. And I'm looking forward to this next Sox Fest we got coming up. And one of the things that's a little bit of a mystery is that sales for this year's coming Sox Fest have surpassed the sales at this time for last year's Sox Fest.
I think it's only a natural reaction whenever you go forward, realizing that your team has added, because very few teams are going to stay in still. I mean, they might not add a whole lot of people, but they're going to add somebody to try to get better. I haven't heard one general manager, anybody associated with any ball club yet, say, you know, I'm going to try to make my team worse next year and then we can get a better draft choice. They don't say that. They all believe that whatever they did for the club, and some people will do more than others, and that has to do certainly with economics, but they all believe that they're going to do whatever they do to make the team better. And consequently, when you make a few moves and you look at the team, you have to feel optimistic in the spring. If you're not optimistic then you're never going to be optimistic about your team.
Payoff pitch to Marte. And that is ball 4. Well, expectations are great. It's one of our real joys in life when they're met.
Yep.
Boy, when they're not met, it's a long way down. And a painful way down, especially in sports. That being the case, I'm just not going to make any predictions for next year.
Well, you say that now, but
well, the first deal is made.
I was going to say, man, get a couple of additions to this team, and all of a sudden things will change.
Yep. It's got to be, the glass has always got to be half full, not half empty.
Well, also, you know, it's such a long year, and there's so many things, ups and downs, and there's this year, unfortunately, not as many hot streaks as we would like, and there was a lot of cold streaks, and you go through injuries and a lot of things that, you know, 6 months of just life will put you through. And it's like in boxing, when you get done with a match, there's a whole lot of people that say, I'm retired. That's it. I don't want it anymore. I'm just going to retire. And then all of a sudden they take a few months off and they reflect a little bit. And something happens, who knows what. They decide, you know what, I think I want to do this again. And the same thing holds true with baseball when you're having a disappointing season and you're at the end of it. And you look back over a lot of disappointment, a lot of things that didn't happen that you thought were going to happen or should have happened that didn't. And you say to yourself, boy, that was really tough. And then all of a sudden, that wears away. And you start to feel spring coming, and it's time to report. And all of a sudden, there's a feeling of optimism that spreads over everybody associated with this game. That's the great part about spring training.
I've been in this, I'm what you call a lifer in baseball, have been all my life. And I can tell you just about year to day, so to speak, when I get amped up ready for spring training, and that is around January 15th. For some reason, that's when it hits me, and that's when I start getting ready and looking forward to it. And it's just like last year. I was going to cut my schedule back. This being, 39 years now, announcing it. They kind of started making those deals, and the deal that changed my mind was the fact of Melky. When they signed Melky Cabrera, I'm sitting there having breakfast with Eris, my beautiful Greek wife. I said, honey, we're not going to cut back this year. We're going to do them all because this is going to be a fun season. Right.
Yeah. It was a real fun season.
Yeah. Holiday. And the count goes full here.
There's a look at Melky. Melky did not get off to a good start. He wasn't the Lone Ranger in that department. We showed you at the top of the show, our opening was a contrast of this team in just about every offensive statistic from the All-Star break on as opposed to up to the All-Star break, and almost every one, it's batting average and runs scored and home runs and on-base percentage, everything you could think of was so far superior after the All-Star break.
Melky had a good year.
Yeah, well, it turned out he did, yes.
He had a good year. And he had a good year even in the first half when he was hitting rockets like I've never seen a guy go into a prolonged spell, so to speak, of hitting the ball right on the money, right at people for so long. You know, Melky had a good year. And it was nice to see our guy as there's a foul. As our guy Jose Abreu joined a very exclusive club as you look at the numbers on first half and second half.
Well, take a look at the slugging percentage. I mean, in itself, 355 to 410. The runs scored, 38 more in 11 fewer games. I mean, every number was increased from the All-Star break on. It's a shame that they couldn't have really started off as hot as they ended up.
Well, that's the reason everything in this game is contagious. Look at Toronto. They made a couple of moves. All of a sudden, poof.
Yeah, they made substantial moves to a good team. I mean, they were a good team already, and then they became a really good team.
Well, look at the Mets. Cespedes hit 17 home runs from the time they picked him up.
And they got David Wright back, and that made a big difference.
Everybody started hitting, and there's a ground ball. Oh, a spy. Tyler. So 1 out, 2 on. So here's Wilson. A strikeout, a pop-up, and a deep drive to left. And Harold next year is going to be an ambassador for the club. Outfield bunched slightly to the right. Shot right. Yeah, there's a case right there. Mike is not a first baseman.
Right.
Abreu would have cut that and got the man at second.
Yeah, because you know that the ball's not going to be on the money. And if Mike was a first baseman by trade, he'd realize this was not in line with the plate. You cut it off, you get the out at second. You don't get the trailer, and it's now a 6-0 game.
And Ghost, the leadoff hitter, 2 for 4. Single and a triple, couple of runs scored. 6-7-1 for them, 0-2-0 for us here in the 8th inning. Spring training next February, we're going to have some young guys, homegrown guys, going in with a different attitude, with a different mindset. Carlos Rodon's, Eric Johnson's, pitching side of it. Tyler Saladino's, Trace Thompson's, Carlos Sanchez's. Curveball, backdoor, he gone. 2 down.
So to pitch tracks, and this one has the outside corner.
So here's Machado, 0 for 2 with a couple of walks and a run scored. Takes first pitch strike. Texas has really moved out, leading the Angels 9-2, bottom of the 7th inning. The Rangers are going to win the West.
And regardless of what happens in the Houston game, and they're trailing now, but it won't matter. Houston will have the wild card.
Well, we better not say that, because yesterday with that
this would be a monumental
10-6 lead going to the 9th inning and lose the game.
Yeah, this one would be monumental.
Seeing Chris Sale and Abreu and a couple of the other guys late in the season more or less saved it for me to a degree. Chris breaking franchise record in strikeouts. Abreu joining a club of 2 along with Albert Pujols and Jose Abreu, the only 2 men that ever played Major League Baseball in their first 2 years, hit 30 or more homers and driving 100 or more runs. Long peg. Beautiful. Well, that's showing off a gun right there. A guy who had Tommy John surgery last year. Meanwhile, it's 6-0.
eighth inning, and Ian Kroll comes into the ball game. Kroll out for the 33rd time. He's 2-3 ERA and even 6. Of course, he's got a 6-run lead to work with as Detroit has out-hit our Sox 7-2.
Beckham, Sanchez, Saladino.
Andrew Romine is taking over at third base.
Also want to thank some other people here that just do a terrific job. Jeff Chanel and his crew on the scoreboard. They're going to have a new scoreboard to work with next season. They say it's going to be absolutely sensational.
Yeah, about 5 times the size of this one.
Jeff and his crew, what a job they do. Also, Roy Rivas and his people back, the people that feed us every day here. Best in the league. Gabe Morrell and his crew down in the visiting clubhouse do such a great job for the visiting teams, as there is a one hopper down to Romine, 1 out. And of course Vinny Fresso and his crew that take care of the home clubhouse and do a fantastic job. 2 of the most important members of the organization, Herm Schneider, Brian Ball, and our great crew of physicians. It's hard to say anybody's the best, but I think if you check the records out, you'll see that more White Sox players, or I should say fewer White Sox players on the DL over the last 12 to 15 years than any other team in baseball. And of course, the man who makes everybody happy and has got one of the toughest jobs, and that is, and everybody loves it, best I've ever seen, is Ed Castle.
Well, that is a very difficult job, and he makes it look exceptionally easy. But every traveling secretary that I've known and you've known, you realize what a thankless job it is, because these guys are working all year long, doing everything, making travel arrangements for more people than we knew their people. They just do it, no complaints, and do it seamlessly.
Well, I've been in this game a long time. Eddie Casson is the best I have ever seen. And of course the Bertucci boys, Bobby Bruno and Handsome Anthony. Nothing's the same without them. They take care of you out there in right field. Also the great people at United, Mark Seipel, Sparky, Bonilla, and George Hofsummer, one of our pilots, and the crew headed up by Jackie Cruz. All the people at Atlantic Aviation, Bernard Young, they take care of us. And the man who takes care of this field, the Sodfather, Roger Bossert. What a great job he does. All the security people, Sammy, Frank, Bobby. It's fouled away. It's just, to sum it up, just a terrific organization. Now, Rick and Kenny got to do their thing over the winter and get this thing fixed. And they probably will.
What a year it was for Chris Sale. Broke a record that stood since 1908.
Another hang whoop from Tyler, and we'll go to the ninth.
And it's the start of Frankie Montas, who threw the ball very well in 4 innings, gave up a run on 2 hits, but he fanned 7 while walking 3. He had pretty good stuff. He settled down after a rocky first inning, and that was it. The Tigers couldn't touch him. So a lot of hope for next year for this young man. James McCann is going to come on to pinch hit. He is a good-looking young catcher with a chance to be one of the better ones around. Overall, hitting .265. He's at 7 home runs, driven in 41 as a pinch hitter. 3 for 5 with 2 driven in, including a big double in this series.
Look at Gordon. Take it, Wilson. 1 out.
Makes his own hop here, comes in and can't exactly smother it, but does get it on the long hop as opposed to the short hop. Good play.
Here's Collins, a big bases clearing triple to break it open. Also want to thank Mike Mazza and his crew. Pete Catazone, Nick Bristow, the ticket office do a wonderful job. Kenny Wiz, Tom Eichstadt, Laura Arenas, Mary Weiss, Charles Johnson. Also Don Esposito, Mike Spadali, Matt Nikeel. Do as good a job as anybody in baseball on these giveaways. They're the ones that make sure they're good, quality.
We had the single best giveaway that I think I've ever seen all the years I've been in the game, and that's the replica ring, which is absolutely gorgeous.
I've got it on right now.
And I mean, it's spectacular.
I tell you what I did on the last road trip, a 10-day. We go to Cleveland, Detroit, and New York. I wore the replica ring. Mm-hmm. You can't believe the compliments. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's the best giveaway I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is. It's a gorgeous ring, and in fact, it's tough to even tell it's a replica.
He gone. 2 down. And of course, our queen of White Sox baseball, Christine O'Reilly. Well, what a job she does for White Sox charities and has done for so long. And for Alex Snellius once again, who hooks up with Christine for White Sox charities and donated over $250,000 to White Sox charities over the year in loving memory of Ursula. Great people. Knocks it down. That's going to be a base hit.
And I think Scott Carroll is going to consider himself a lucky man if he comes away with this unscathed. Now, I think that got a piece of him. And we'll have to see if he's okay. This is a rocket back up the middle. You can see him say, wow. I think it got a piece of him, just not a big piece of him.
So here's Moya. Also a big thank you to Greg Hopwood, Steve Cardona, Julie Taylor, Mark Zucker. All the great things they do. And a man who's always got a smile on his face, Tommy Sheridan. And his crew, Rich Krucher, Lindsey Jordan, Jeff Pagacki, Rob Boaz, Sam Lawson. Wow. You and I are very, very lucky.
There's some wonderful people in this organization. There has been for a long time. And they make it very easy to work here.
Well, that all starts at the top. And there's a strike. Moya has walked, popped to short, bounced back to the pitcher, and gone out to left. Right at him. And that'll retire the side. We got 3 more outs in this season.
By Miller Lite, and our Miller moment is a salute to the fans who were here all year, the fans who showed up today on a cold day, a very damp and cold day, almost 20,000 strong for Fan Appreciation Day, and it was not an easy year in many instances to come to the ballpark, although it was always fun. This year could have been a lot better. We're hoping next year is considerably better than this. But our Miller moment is a salute to the fans. And Kyle Ryan comes on for the 16th time. There you look at the numbers, and he's got a big lead to work with.
Tacks it up, JB, 0 for 3. And I wanted to say my last thank you to you, Steve. As I said earlier, it has not been a lot of fun. And I thought you did. He said, "Get over his head." Nice catch. I thought you did yeoman's work this year. It's when you have a season like we had this year, it's much tougher on the analysts than it is on the play-by-play. Much tougher, because there's sometimes it's just nothing for the analysts to say. I mean, the fans. You give the fans credit for knowing the game, as I do, and sometimes silence is the greatest communicator.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's no doubt that both broadcasters sound a whole lot better when the team is doing real well. And we want them to win every game and want every guy to succeed in everything they do, because it really makes our job a whole lot easier. And when the fans are excited, when the team is exciting, it's easier for us to be excited. This was a difficult year because we didn't have that sustained winning streak, and once again, for you and I, it's our 7th year together. I thought it was as good a year as we could possibly have when you consider that all the expectations we had coming in, and it was a few months into the season, and we realized this wasn't going to be the kind of year we thought it was going to be, and then that makes it a lot more difficult. And it's not that it's particularly difficult for the analyst or more difficult than it is for the play-by-play guy. It's just keeping up your enthusiasm on a day-to-day basis. And that you do exceptionally well, that you've always done exceptionally well. The one thing nobody will ever question is your desire to have the White Sox win each and every day, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situation. And that type of enthusiasm you bring on a daily basis is something that I'm not sure can be replaced.
High, right side. Well, I appreciate all that, but I'm still telling you, it's tougher on the analysts than it is on...
Okay, I'll go with that.
Believe me. I mean, what are you going to say?
No, I mean,
they just saw the same thing that you saw.
I mean, there are some times where you and I look at one another and we just collectively shake our heads and don't say anything.
And there are a lot of times we wish we could say what we didn't say, but we can't say it.
No, that's true, too.
All right, here's Avi. Ivy, 0 for 2. One and one to count. Get down. Let him get a base hit. Yes, he will. All right.
A broken bat and a little blooper, and the season is not over.
It's a good way to end. I don't care if it's a Kansas City special or not.
Might as well end with a base hit.
One and 0. Alexei has popped up. Couple times and grounded out. Down to third, the long pad. And this ball game is over. And this season is over. And Stevie, once again, buddy, we'll have a mulligan. We'll redo it in February.
Have a very good and, more importantly, a very healthy winter.
Ditto. Ditto. So, for my partner Steve Stone, for our director Jim Angier, our producer Todd Benjaminson, our associate producer Jeff Sermon, our very fine technical manager Mark Harper, also for the mayor, Mean Joe Groove, for Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, Doug Bowie. That's like family. Also, our executive producer, Jim Cornell Jr. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Goodbye, everybody.